Good evening, welcome to Anfield for the UEFA Cup second round first leg between Liverpool, England's only survivors in the competition, and Slovan Liberec. You know all about them, don't you? Well, just in case you don't, Alan and Mark will give you a thorough briefing. Won't you, Alan?
Well, when I played here I was pretty strong at delegating, so nothing's changed. On you go.
Which means he knows absolutely nothing, like most of us, apart from John Motson. But I think even Vladimir Smicer and Patrick Berger don't know about their own countrymen, so that tells you something. So it's a bit of a travel into the unknown for Liverpool as far as they're concerned.
Well, just a few weeks ago we saw Liverpool here against Rapid Bucharest, and to be honest, Liverpool were poor. They've got to play a lot better than that tonight.
I thought they were abysmal that night, but certainly the last two matches they've turned the corner. Against Derby and Leicester at home, they've got it down, they've passed it. They've looked like a good team, which if you look at the best 11 on paper, they are a very good side. I think tonight's important to keep on improving. I think they've got to remain solid, give a big crowd, or the crowd, something to shout about anyway, give us something to shout about, and also get 2 or 3 goals, but look solid defensively.
Well, they're in good voice already, and can we look forward to seeing Heskey and Fowler together tonight? Michael Owen, of course, injured.
Yeah, they've left him out completely, just rested him. Gary still recovering from that head knock against Derby. I think urgency is a key word for Liverpool tonight, and you know, Alan said about the last time they played here, I thought they just let the opposition play, which is something you can't do here. And I think if you get in amongst Slovan Liberec tonight and hurry them up, they're not a particularly good side, we've never heard of them before, first time ever in Europe, make them hurry and hopefully make them make the mistakes and set the crowd going as well, because they need something to start them.
And I think the important thing is to compress the play.
Yeah.
The last time, you know, the first man's got to go and then everybody else will follow. If the first man doesn't go, the centre forward, then everybody just sits back. You don't want a situation where you let this team get on top of Liverpool, because Liverpool are too good for that. You want Liverpool right from the start to get out, get in, and get after them. Score a few goals, don't concede any, and we all go home happy.
And entertain us. Now, one man who knew all about the Czechs even before the draw was made, as Loro said, is our commentator tonight, John Motson. He's with Trevor Brooking.
Not quite sure about that, Gary, but I can tell you how to get there if you like. If you go to Prague and then travel north towards the Polish border, you'll come to the largest town in northern Bohemia, and that indeed is Liberec, which is known for its glass and its textiles. And its footballers about to take the stage at a ground which found them completely overawed when they came here for training last night. They've never played in a stadium like this before. Their own ground, where Liverpool will play in 2 weeks' time, holds only 7,000 people, and they're having to build floodlights specially for the occasion. So this is going to be a real test of their nerve. Slovan Liberec, who actually got into the UEFA Cup by winning their own domestic cup competition. It's their first ever season in European football. They did, however, beat the Swedish team Norrköping in the first round.
Ladies and gentlemen, your team for tonight, first of all, visitors.
That was a 4-3 aggregate. They drew 2-2 away, and they've got about 150 supporters from the Czech Republic with them tonight. They were, in fact, in the lead in their domestic league in the Czech Republic before the weekend, but then they lost 4-1 to Sparta Prague, the club who beat Arsenal 4-2 last night. So with all those fours around, Liverpool are going to expect to score something like that tonight, even without Michael Owen, who, as we've said, is still being rested and not even on the Liverpool bench. In fact, it's quite an interesting selection by Gerard Houllier tonight, because the subs bench does include the likes of Nick Barmby, Gary McAllister and Sami Hyypiä, who've all been rotated out of the starting lineup compared to Saturday's match against Leicester. Steven Gerrard is injured, and the 11 who start the match include Jamie Carragher, Stefan Onsho, and of course, as you said, Mark Lawrenson mentioned, the 2 Czechs, Smicer and Berger, playing against their fellow countrymen. Danny Murphy also gets a starting shirt. He's alongside Dietmar Hamann in midfield. Well, Liberec themselves depend a lot for their goals on their number 9. He's Lazaro from Argentina. The main playmaker is number 3, Mikalik, in midfield, but the 3 regular defenders, Pilny, Johanna and Lexar, are going to need all their muscular qualities tonight. They've described this, Liberec, as the biggest match in their history, and it's one in which a certain Robbie Fowler would like to open his account for the season. hasn't scored since last December for Liverpool, but he is on 10 European goals and could be climbing the Liverpool Hall of Fame tonight, because if he was to get 2 more, he'd be on 12, and then only Roger Hunt and Ian Rush would be ahead of him. So much then for the geography and the history. Now here to talk some real sense is Trevor Brooking.
Well, you and I were here the last game, that was goalless. Finland, England, that was goalless. I think we need to describe a goal or two. I think we will. I do believe Liverpool should certainly have a 2 or 3 goal lead in this particular game tonight.
Well, they scored 1 when I was here on Saturday. Fowler, of course, had 1 kicked off the line that day. So they'll be looking more to try to reach the standard they hit at Derby the week before. Liverpool, in their familiar red, will defend the Kop stand in the first half, and Slovan Liberec, all in white. A Swiss referee. Here's Patrick Berger, a Czech playing against Czechs, and straight away tries to bring his compatriot Smicer into it. In fact, with Berger and Smicer playing for Liverpool, there are more Czech internationals in their team than there are among the opposition, because the only international that Liberec have is in fact a Slovakian. Here's Dietmar Hamann, very much a German. And here's Heskey. It's a corner to Liverpool. And Babel is coming forward, and so is Onsho. Ziege is there too. So 3 up here for Liverpool. Oh, and that's a good effort early on from the very man we were talking about, Robbie Fowler. Trevor.
They did well, just coming away from goal, so difficult to get the power then. Nobody on that back post. In the end, a comfortable save, though, from Hautzer.
In fact, it's been quite a day for Robbie Fowler. I understand his wife gave birth to a baby girl this morning, so a couple of goals tonight would go down very nicely. That was his header. Now it's Heskey chasing with Johanna, the number 14. That was the captain, Pilny. And it's offside. Danny Murphy. Liverpool, as we've said, made hard work of beating Rapid Bucharest in the last round. They won away and then drew here. Heskey. It was Čapek for Liberec. And number 8 here is Steiner, who you'll see more, I think, in the attack alongside Lazaro. But here's Fowler for Liverpool, looking for Heskey and finding him. Berger backing up. Big week for Liverpool. Merseyside derby coming up on Sunday. This is Berger, and then Chelsea here in the Worthington Cup next Wednesday. And no wonder Houllier is moving his squad men around. Here's Steiner. Berger. Ziege. 17 there is Thomas Janu, who, from the tape I watched, looked to be about their best player. Liberec, and that's a foul on Johanna. What about the way they've set their stall out here, the Czechs, Trevor?
Well, they play 3 at the back. Pilny, the captain, is the spare man, 2 markers. They've got 2 wing-backs pushing in, and almost 4 up. You mentioned number 8, Steiner, he is on this right-hand side, but once they lose possession, he drops back to make an extra midfielder, and they leave Lazaro up very much by himself. So I think the only thing in the opening few minutes, Liverpool tended with Smicer and Berger, who are there 2 wide men in midfield. They like to drift into the centre, and if they try and thread the ball through the width of the 18-yard box, they're going to find it frustrating. So I think either those 2 or the 2 fullbacks have to give Liverpool width to actually get outside a very crowded midfield.
Yes, well, Berger there was trying to get past Neumann, who plays on the right-hand side of the midfield for the Czechs. Heskey. Schmitzer's in the centre. They force the corner. One or two players here looking for their first goal for Liverpool. Ziege, Babel, on show, all up for the corner. In fact, Babel's gone into the 6-yard box, this time in front of Fowler. Comes out now. That was on show, took it away rather from Ziege. Headed back in by Smicer.
Not particularly tall, the goalkeeper, Hautzer, and I think the defenders have looked a little bit vulnerable just on 2 early crosses.
Yes, they have. This is Heskey. Fowler's waiting in the centre, and that's a free kick given against Emil Heskey.
It's the spare man, Pilny, who just was covering across. Emil Heskey trying to go past his marker, knocked it too far forward, and that little nudge penalised.
Number 7, Kozuk, who was something of a surprise selection. Just getting the place on the midfield role there ahead of the normal occupant who's on the bench. It's number 10, Yun. We may see him later. This is Murphy. Fowler, Harman. That was cut out very comfortably, in fact, by Steiner, who got there ahead of Ziege, and now he's looking for Lazaro, who's got Babel against him, and that's going to be a corner to Slovan Liberec, forced by Lazaro. And they're going to send up number 4, Lexar, and number 14, Johanna, for this. Janu will take it. And in comes Lexar. Oh, and that's been driven well wide by Neumann. But there was a moment of uncertainty in there, I think. Westerveld, Trevor?
I'm not sure why he was stretching and punching that, because look, it clears that top man, and if he comes and he's able to get his arms to that, I think it just let him take it in the chest, because it actually bounced out on the edge of the penalty area, and if that player could have hit it more cleanly, they could have been in serious trouble. Actually, last night Sparta Prague put in some good crosses with a left footer, a bit like Janu did there, curling in across the 6-yard box, and it's either important for Liverpool to actually attack the ball with their head, and if Westerveld is going to come to it, he's got to punch much clearer or longer than that, or else catch it.
Similar thing happened right at the end of the game against Leicester from a corner on Saturday. He punched a ball that one felt he could have perhaps caught. Anyway, Liverpool are now in possession. This is Ziege. Gets it back again from Berger. Kozuk. Harman for Liverpool. Good ball. Berger needs support. Smicer's has made a run. Goalkeeper comes to meet him. Goal kick.
You just saw the type where the wide man, this time Berger, likes to come in. He often is the third man in the centre of midfield, but it does mean that, you know, they do lack the ability to switch play and width. I've said it quite a few times when I watch Liverpool, and they've got not a lot of natural width, and it's important for those two players, I think Berger and Smicer, particularly this evening, to try and provide that if possible.
Yes, there's no Steve Highway figure, if you like, going back to European days of old here, when Liverpool did have an orthodox winger. But they've won this competition twice and the Champions Cup 4 times, Liverpool, but it's some 17 years since they lifted a European trophy. But here comes Emil Heskey. Johanna. And the interchange there, Steiner and Neumann. only 10 minutes, and the early goal has not materialised. Here's Fowler, Berger, Johanna. Pilny.
I was at Highbury last night, and Arsenal were 2-0 up already, so it's quite important psychologically. I think also a team not experienced in Europe, but very important for them not to have conceded an early one, otherwise their heads might have gone down very early. So I'm sure they're quite pleased at the moment because they've not looked under pressure.
Well, the reports Liverpool had on them, and they've had them watched 3 times at least, was that they weren't as good a side as the Romanians who made life so difficult here in the last round. But they may be able to frustrate Liverpool in much the same way. There's an injury here to one of the Liberec players. There's Gerard Houllier, who had plenty of information about Liberec from his scouting staff. Kozuk was the player who was hurt. I went through these pronunciations with one or two of my Czech friends, Trevor. I'm not sure I said that right, but the number 7 is certainly the hardest one to pronounce. This is Ziga. Here's Babel. And building up on the right now, Liverpool, with Smica. Heskey. Nice turn. Patrick Berger. And the 2 Czechs combining for Liverpool. Here's Danny Murphy. The shot could be on from distance. Comes off Pilny, and Fowler's up with the goalkeeper. In fact, that caught the captain full in the face, that shot from Murphy. Ziga. And Heskey tries to shake off Johanna, but in doing so concedes the free kick.
Wasn't too subtle. Likes to mark tight, Johanna, but you can see just the clear tug of the shirt. Going to have to try and work the flanks. If the width isn't going to come from midfield, then it's important Emil Heskey does work either side. We know he likes to get one-on-one and try to use that pace to get behind people.
Well, he's used his strength again there to knock Johanna over, so it's another free kick to Liberec. Lexar, the left back, on the far side. Kozuk, but this is Berger. Goalkeeper Hauser, who was actually loaned out earlier this season and played against Liberec, but now he's back and claimed the #1 spot. We hope to see him tested before too long. This is Murphy, and now it's Heskey. Fowler in the centre. Coming in now, Robbie Fowler. This is Harman. Jamie Carragher outside him here. Fowler again, Smica. Forward by Onsho to Heskey. I think they're reading him a bit here, Emil Heskey, the defenders. This is Onsho to Berger. Well, they're playing very much in front of the white shirts at the moment, Liverpool, but now Babel gets Smica perhaps in behind. Fowler goes near post, it's a decent cross. Fowler's there, but he got right underneath it.
Well, that was more like it. Babel bringing the ball out, knocking it and then returning to Smica. Got behind the defence. That's the position you've got to get people in. Great cross. Unfortunately, Robbie Fowler backpedaling probably got in the way of Emil Heskey, who was coming onto the ball. Couldn't then keep it down.
Cheered the crowd up a little bit. Special concessions for families tonight for this early European round in terms of pricing here. Forward by Janu, this is Neumann. And that's a decent ball. This is Steiner for Liberec, the number 8. Berger had to do some hurried defensive work to stitch that up for Liverpool. He's found Schmitzer. Berger again. Dummy by Fowler, not read by Heskey.
Schmitzer did well, knocked it inside to Berger. Berger then looked to the left, and Ziege, the fullback, hadn't come up, and there was no option out to that left-hand side. So again, they tried to thread it through. Decent step over from Fowler, but Heskey wasn't on the same wavelength.
You're quite right about Liverpool in the sense they're very narrow, aren't they, in the centre of the field.
Well, I always look on it, you hadn't been a midfield player, I think, well, what are my passing options? And when Berger got the ball there was nothing out on the left at all, because he likes to creep in, and if he's going to creep in, then somebody has to fill the gap on this side. Ziege, I think, possibly could start to motor forward more, because more often than not, you've got 4 Liverpool defenders on just Lazaro, who's playing up quite often by himself.
This is Fowler, yes. Ziege still in early days at Liverpool. Perhaps not coming forward quite as much as he does, or did certainly in one game I saw for Germany in Euro 2000. He virtually played on the left wing. But they certainly need either him or Carragher to make the extra man occasionally. This is Steiner. Nice back heel. Oh, he's found Neumann. Lazaro's in the centre here. Harman being tugged back a bit by Kozuk. Berger. Ziege. This is Murphy. Corner.
It's better from Ziege. Definitely think he can get in those situations, almost play as a left wing back. And then it was Danny Murphy, who good opportunity for him in centre of midfield, and that occasion he popped up on the left. The pass to him was a bit overhit, and he was under pressure, but he's won the corner.
That ball showed to come from deeper. And that's an easy one for the goalkeeper, whose throw might stretch Liverpool a little bit on the far side. This is Janu. Beats Harman, doesn't beat Carragher.
The break all came from a poor corner kick from Danny Murphy. It was one of those on the training ground, you'd knock them in to give your goalkeeper a bit of practice, and Outzer said thanks very much and set up an attack for the opposition.
I think he was extremely grateful. So Liberec now with Steiner. Kozuk and Carragher. Čapek doing very well on the left-hand side there, but his cross was already behind. Sorry if you had a slight picture interruption there, just briefly. The man you're looking at there is Pavel Čapek, 24 years old, who said his main aim tonight was to make sure at the end of the game he could swap shirts with Patrick Berger. So that tells you something about where Liberec feel they stand in relation to Liverpool's international cast. And there is Berger, in fact. And there's Ladislav Skopil, 55 years old, gentleman with the grey hair, 2 years in charge of Slovan Liberec.
Doesn't look like a man to upset, does he?
He was quite jovial, actually, when we met him at the training session. But, it's been a particularly jovial start for Liverpool. And it's rather like, dare I say, the opening in the previous European game.
I did say we were going to describe a couple of goals, didn't I? Yes, I did. But it is a poor start. I thought last time we were here they were lacking in confidence, but they come into this one with a couple of good victories. Beat Leicester, a few goals against Derby County. So again, up to now, they've not even created a half chance, have they? I suppose they header from Fowler, but it's certainly a bit disjointed.
Ziege. Harmon. Murphy. Heskey. Oh yes, good play by Emil Heskey. Very good. Oh, well that caught a deflection. It's a corner.
An excellent little dummy, wasn't it? Just dropped his shoulder. There it was. I see you. And then it looks for the opportunity. Comes off the shoulder of Pilney. Wrong foots the keeper. Fortunately, just the outside of the post from the visitors' point of view.
Babel and Onsho are forward here. This time the goalkeeper decides he will punch. It comes back to Patrick Berger. Babel has stayed in there. So has Onsho. Bit of pushing.
Was a better delivery from Patrick Berger, particularly the first one. Houser got a punch to it. The second one was a bit deep, but I don't think they're good on crosses, and if they can get in those good positions like certainly Smica did from the right-hand side when Fowler nearly scored from the header, then I think that's where the goal might come from.
Heskey stumbling there. Kozuk. Tackled by Carragher. I think the Argentine fellow up front is going to have to play more or less on his own, Trevor. I don't think they're going to have too much time to get people up to support him, but he is lively, Lazaro.
Yes, he's a bit too isolated at present, but they're quite happy to come here and get a goalless scoreline, I'm sure, and it's up to Liverpool to actually undermine that by scoring. At present, that doesn't look imminent.
Here's Harmon. And now Babel. Ziege. This is Babel again. Good running across here by Smica. He's still got a chance of getting this in. Heskey and Fowler are waiting. Murphy's there too. And it was taken away by Johanna. Here's Harmon with space in front of him. You can crack on here. Harmon blocked by Pilney, the captain. Liverpool get the throw. Bit of momentum maybe here. Murphy. Carragher. It's come back to Babel. Fowler. Babel again. Little ball in. It's too long for Smica.
A little bit of pressure. Smica got the ball down the channel over this side. I think if he could have let the ball run, because they like to mark tight, I think he could have lost his marker then. And then they built up down that right-hand side. Seem to just be pegging them a little bit back in their half. I don't think, in all honesty, they are a good side, and it's just up to Liverpool to get the first goal, and then I think they can go from there.
Here's Berger. Lazaro. That's a free kick against Ziege for the tackle on Steiner. Gives Liberec some breathing space and enables them to send Johanna and Lexar up on the far side. Janu will take it. Plays it short instead to Steiner. That's come off Emil Heskey for a corner. So the two guys from the back can stay forward. Lexar there with Lazaro.
taken an eternity to get this set up for the corner kick, and you can't blame them. They're 0-0, quite happy, keep it up this end. And at the moment, it is up to Liverpool to take the initiative and step the pace up, I think.
Johannes coming in far side. He was blocked off by Oncho. Well, they're a muscular side, and I must say, when I saw the tape, they're strong physically, Liberec, and matching Liverpool here in every challenge. That's well played by Mikalik, who's the midfield orchestrator, really, if they do get some possession. Hasn't had much of the ball in the opening 20 minutes, but he likes to pass it around. Here's Ziege. Berger. Babel. Oh, Robbie Fowler playing here almost on the halfway line. Smitsa. Heskey.
There's a lot of passes, but they never turned and tried to get behind or hurt the opposition. They're always in front of them. They comfortably were defending. And up to now, nobody in the Liverpool team seems quite happy just to turn and go one against one and try and dribble past them. It's all too predictable.
Well, we've got to get rid of this 0-0 jinx somehow. It's Neumann, Berger, Fowler. Now Carragher with Smitsa on that side as well. Harmon. Fowler to Carragher. Fowler now in the area with Murphy. And it's come to Danny Murphy off the defender. And he's made room here for something perhaps, or is he going to? No, he can't even make room for Heskey.
It's unlucky. They've worked the ball out to Carragher quite well. I thought Jamie Carragher could have perhaps got forward and crossed from a better position. It was alongside the 18-yard box. It worked its way here to Danny Murphy. Initially looked as if he was going to set himself up for a shooting opportunity, then tried to release Heskey. Staying onside, just over-knocked it.
Kozuk getting it away from Carragher now. He's got Lazaro in the centre waiting for a cross, and that's going to be a goal kick.
Just gets caught in possession. Because they win it like that, though, there's not too many options in the penalty area. Dwells a bit and then gets caught and just ricochets off him from the goal kick. But at the moment, it's the onus is very much on Liverpool to try and step up the pace, push them back and cause them a bit of anxiety, whereas at the moment it's all too comfortable.
This is Fowler. Can he make it uncomfortable for them here? Oh, headed on by Ziege. Oh, and Smitsa coming in at the far post, felt he was pushed over.
But there were just a couple of occasions there when Robbie Fowler went at his defender, twisted and turned, and you've got to say they struggled. He dived in, he fell over. That's all you need. I mean, that is poor defending. Look, he's struggling as far as I'm concerned. Number 4, Lexer. Ziege gets the touch, and all it needs is a bit of subtlety, little bit of movement, and I do believe that there are a few goals in this game, but at the moment, Liverpool hugely disappointing.
It's a long kick by Sander Westerveld. Fowler's hoping to get something off the back of it, but Johanna was strong. Here's Mikalik. Oh, good tackle by Murphy, twice. Here he is again. Neumann. Steiner. And this is Čapek on the far side. He was flattened there when the ball had well gone. Jamie Carragher with the tackle. Interesting point about the earnings of these players in the Czech Republic, Trevor. Smíca's tackle, sorry. The average wage that these Liberec players earn is £20,000 a year. That's half what one or two of the Liverpool players are reputed to earn in a week. Here's the free kick from Janu, and two of them going in together, Steiner and Lazaro, but I only made that point because the number 17 Janu looks a really accomplished player, and we've seen before that you can recruit quite successfully from Eastern Europe.
I'm sure any club team coming from that part of Europe, when they draw somebody in the Premiership, must think to themselves, there's an opportunity to try and catch somebody's eye and make a name for themselves. They're working hard, they're quite neat. I certainly don't think they're as talented as Sparta Prague, who I saw last night lose to Arsenal, but at the moment the honest endeavour is sufficient to keep Liverpool at bay.
That was a cross by Heskey. Harman tried to make it. Yes, they see themselves a little bit as the poor relations to Slavia Prague and Sparta Prague to Liberec, but as you say, so far tonight they've arranged their defence in good fashion, and as I say, Janu there looks a busy and very talented individual.
Technically, the Czech players are very talented. I just think, last night Rosicky was exceptionally talented midfielder who caught our eye in Euro 2000.
Here's the Argentine centre forward with the cross. Lazaro really stretching them there, and this will bring the heavy brigade up from the back again. The two lookalikes, Johanna and Lexar, having a conversation as to how they're going to try and latch onto this. Header back in and a header back out, and there is Steiner. Smíca. It was raining quite hard before kickoff. Noticed Robbie Fowler just losing his footing there on what may be a slightly greasy top.
It's a great top for pass and move side that Liverpool have built their football on for the last 25-30 years.
Danny Murphy. Berger. Forward by Harman to Smíca. Heskey and Fowler waiting in the centre. It goes over Fowler and then it's hooked away for a corner by Neumann. And Liverpool have had a succession of left-wing corners. Berger's been taking them all, and this time Ziege thinks about joining, decides not to. It's going to be left again to Babel and Onsho to make the extra men. And once more, they're not found.
There's a much better pass just now from Harman to Smíca. That's the second time he's got in towards that byline. Didn't pick out anyone on that particular cross, but I'm sure Julio would want them to get in those positions that much more. Perhaps he's made a note. That's the second time we've got to the byline. It needs to be more than that.
Indeed. Murphy. Berger. Murphy again. Oh, there's a block on that. Robbie Fowler's getting in there now. Still Fowler, no. And Heskey couldn't get there either. And there was a chance, or a half chance, for Liverpool there.
I think it was a chance. Looked a bit better than the half chance. unfortunate ricochet. Danny Murphy did well, seemed to be going into the path of Robbie Fowler on his favoured left foot, but he got caught in two minds and ended up not getting the shot in at all.
That's Murphy, that's Heskey, trying to find Fowler now. Is it going to get a bit crisper now by Liverpool? It needs to. Steiner for Liberec. Referee gives the free kick in his favour.
Yeah, this is a shot from Danny Murphy. It seems as if he might just hook it in. Did he need to take it on the stomach? I think he might have normally hit it first time, Robbie Fowler. Still working his way back to match fitness, but I just think the opportunity might have been there for just a one-touch on goal.
Lazaro. Well, they've given the corner.
Lazaro's done well in 2 or 3 occasions by himself. He has been willing to take people on, win a corner kick or a free kick, and you just think with better support, perhaps in 2 weeks' time at home, that he would be a danger.
He's got that Argentine flamboyance about him, hasn't he? Lexar up here with Johanna. And it's, in fact, Mikalik who has the shot.
And Mikalik should have done better. He throws his head back, and I'm not surprised. I'm so stunned that, you know, that is basic sort of defensive play there. They must have 7 or 8 players in defence in the penalty area of Liverpool. And the ball was knocked out to the edge of the penalty area, no one picking up Mikalik, and he had all the time to get his shot on target. Fortunately, he didn't.
Here's Fowler. Harman. Babel moving up. Sliding it into Smitsa. Needs a cross now. Heskey's there. Fowler's here. Oh, okay, whack it then. Just talking about Robbie Fowler, he was out for a long time with that ankle injury, wasn't he? In fact, the greater part of last season, or certainly the second half of it. Here's Harman. Heskey. Smitsa far side. Here comes Carragher. Away by Pilney. To Babel. Fowler.
They've got the biggest of players, but Robbie Fowler is getting in between defenders. Again, you see he's having just a back paddle, so it means the header is difficult to get the required power. And then gain a comfortable save from Hautzer. But Jamie Carragher beginning to get forward a little bit more on that right-hand side. As I say, in the middle of the goal, needed to be in one corner or the other.
Babel. Harman. Murphy. This is Ziege. Ziege's shot deflected off Yanu, and Heskey couldn't get there, but it's going to be a corner. A right-wing corner this time, so they can perhaps change the trajectory a little bit. Smitsa's got the ball to take it. Babel is on his way forward now. Onshow is in there. This is Christian Ziege. Put back in towards Emil Heskey.
Once or twice now, just they've got the first header, then heading it towards goal. Just whether now and again it might be an idea to head it just back across the goal to perhaps a second striker, because I can't see it being powerful enough perhaps a header from that distance to beat the keeper.
This is Berger. Heskey. Murphy.
That was better worked. Set up a shooting opportunity again. Just probably too near the goalkeeper, but you just feel Liverpool beginning to edge their way towards creating a scoring opportunity, but it has been poor up to now. They are due to just improve.
Actually, on Saturday against Leicester, most of the creativity came from Gary McAllister. He's on the bench tonight. This is Murphy. Fowler to Berger. Good turn, but not a good pass. Heskey to Fowler.
Again, good dummy, knocked in to Heskey. Set up the scoring opportunity on his left foot. Again, Robbie Fowler won't be happy, just sliced off the outside of his left foot. And normally in a European tie, you've got to keep things tight, and perhaps a 1-0 scoreline would be a good result. I'm just putting it into context of the quality of the opposition. They're working hard, they're neat, they're putting a lot of effort, but this is not a good European team. Liverpool should be able to pull this side apart and get 3 or 4 goals, and that's what it's a poor performance. Even if Liverpool end up winning this 1-0, this is a side that shouldn't be causing them the trouble that they are.
There are 5 minutes left in the first half. This is Mikalik for Liberec to Lazaro, and Mikalik continues his run. He's got Steiner in the centre. Carragher with Steiner. Kozuk to take the throw for the Czech team. Čapek. And again, there's a flag up here, as you'll see. And our own personal assistant referee just signalling that there was an offside. Here's Ziege. Murphy, Heskey needs to be moved on again, but they've lost it. They've lost the momentum anyway. Forward by Berger. This is Murphy. Heskey battling it out with Lexar Smith. Fowler's coming in! Oh! That was about as close as they've been, Trevor.
Again, you're getting in to the ideal crossing position. See him marked so tight with his power. Emil Heskey can ride him round all the time. Excellent cross this time. Robbie Fowler just getting across his defender. And I think he knows he should have got that on target on his left foot. Didn't quite wrap his foot around it enough.
You feel if Fowler could get 1, he might get 3 or 4. He hasn't scored for Liverpool since last December. In fact, his last senior goal was for England against Ukraine at Wembley in a friendly prior to Euro 2000, which of course he missed. Here's Onsha to Harman. Smitser. Carragher. Well, it really is a frustrating first half again here from the Liverpool point of view. The Czechs are all behind the ball, shutting them down. There's a push on this occasion on Patrick Berger that might perhaps open something up. Harman puts the ball down. And unlike England at Wembley, the Czechs have decided to form a 4-man wall from this distance. Well, 3-man wall anyway. This is Harman. Having to work hard to make room for the shot. Good challenge by Janu. This is Steiner. And Liverpool get it straight back. Heskey. Smitzer. Goalkeeper comes to meet Robbie Fowler.
It's a tore cross again. Jamie Carragher playing at right back. He's one of those versatile players, midfielder or at central defence, but a hanging cross like that, when you've got Robbie Fowler competing against a goalkeeper who can use his hands, well, it's no contest.
Do you want to sum up this first half? Because
one of frustration. I just cannot believe how poorly Liverpool have played. Lots of people goal side. Slovan, they've worked hard, they're neat, but with a little bit of movement, somebody to run and attack defenders, I just think they're there for the taking. But at the moment, Liverpool have just been very lacking in flair and the movement required.
And no need for this referee to add on too much stoppage time. Robbie Fowler was at the heart of most of Liverpool's frustration, really.
Golden goal competition.
He came closest to scoring, but overall, as Trevor said, it wasn't by any means the performance that we were looking for from Liverpool, and rather like in the last round, we have to say at half-time that they've underachieved. It's Liverpool 0, Slovan Liberec 0.
Can I just tell you about the Liverpool Now Music Festival?
Just about the last round, feels like Groundhog Day. Very reminiscent of their last performance against Rapid Bucharest.
Makes the last round seem like a classic, to be fair. I mean, I can't believe how bad Liverpool are. Yeah. The Czech Republic side are absolutely hopeless. They've got 3 players at the back that want to get in the local pub side. No urgency, no cohesion, no pass, no move. The final balls is poor. I know it's a difficult game to play, and to get yourself motivated against a team like this is very, very difficult. But you've got to have somebody that's leading, somebody in the middle of the park that takes the game with a scruff of the neck and says, hey, let's have a go at these, because they are very, very poor.
And I think also, you know that they're going to come here and sit there because they feel inferior. The manager straight away says it's the biggest game of their lives, so you know exactly that they're going to be organised and make it difficult. Liverpool, I think, apart from maybe one occasion, never got down the sides of them. You know, you sit there with the 3 and the 5 across midfield, you've got to get down the sides of them, you've got to get round the back of them. Couple of occasions at the most for Liverpool, and there's such a lack of urgency. It's frightening. I think he shouted early, he went testimonial game, and I tell you what, it is a testimonial game.
It's too easy to get in possession and just pass it square. Far too easy.
Do you think the attitude of the Liverpool players is that they think this game's going to be easy? They thought it was going to be easy beforehand, and they've gone out there, and all of a sudden it's a little bit more difficult.
Absolutely fatal. Yeah. If you start slow, you'll never pick up. Another thing is, of course, you've got to bring the crowd into play. Give them something to shout about, and then what that can do is it can give you a lift and frighten them to death, but the crowd's been quiet because they've had nothing to shout about whatsoever.
And the opposition is so poor, you could win the game here 4, and the tie's over. Easy. But it's not over at the moment.
No, it's not. Anyway, we have to come back to it later on, but there you go.
Thank you.
Now, the only other British side left in the UEFA Cup is Celtic. They're in action tonight in Bordeaux. Here's the first half highlights with Gordon Smith and Rob McLean.
Celtic, it's 17 years since they reached the 3rd round of a European competition. That was 83-84 when they were eventually ousted by Nottingham Forest, so that's a record that they certainly want to put right. And Bobby Petta immediately races towards the byline. That's a good ball in, and Henrik Larsson just over the top. 30 seconds, and Celtic almost ahead. And an injury to Larsson.
Well, it was great work, but look how brave Larsson is here. He sees an opportunity, he knows the keeper's going to come and clatter him there, and he does take it full in the face in his efforts to get that ball in the net. And he was so unlucky, it's just landed on top of the net.
In from Bobby Petta. Out comes Rami, gets a punch to it. Here's a chance for Paul Lambert. Deflected wide, another corner kick, this time on the far side. That was a well-controlled volley from Lambert.
Breeze have gone in this, and you can see it goes through a number of people there, and I'm not sure they exactly knew what was happening. A little deflection, good jump there. Mialbi almost getting the same treatment as Larsson got there, but Paul Lambert keeps it down. It's going in the corner.
The Bordeaux fans making plenty of noise behind that goal, and the set piece ends up with the opening goal, and it's Christophe Dugarry, who gives Bordeaux the lead. 22 minutes gone. First set piece, first goal. And Celtic couldn't keep him out at the near post.
Yeah, we know Dugarry is good in the air. We saw that in Euro 2000, but this is very badly defended from Celtic's point of view. Good run in there, and there's no challenge here. Gets in the head of the near post. We wondered how they might defend it. They've caused problems at the other end. The first decent opportunity, and Dugarry gets it in.
Didier Agat heading for the byline, turns the ball in. It's Diabate that's there, and that must be a penalty kick, and it is. Tremendously quick feet from Henrik Larsson, which won the penalty for Celtic. Bordeaux protest, but no doubt about it. So Henrik Larsson, who won the penalty kick, will now take it. And scores! That's a golden goal for Celtic. 1-1, and Martin O'Neill leads the celebrations. 25 minutes gone. Rami went one way, the ball went the other. Celtic back on level terms.
Yeah, superbly cool. Henrik Larsson keeps on scoring goals, penalties or otherwise, but he took that so well. And as you said, a golden goal, very important. European football nowadays, over 2 legs that you score away from home. Vital from their point of view, and puts them right back in this game, and probably makes up for the mistake they made at losing that first goal. And Martin O'Neill delighted.
Henrik Larsson, lovely pass. Lubo Moravcik hesitated. Rami came out. Now Moravcik again. Tried to chip that into the top corner. It would have been some goal had it come off. That was a lovely passage of play. It was well won initially by Mjällby. Good ball through with the outside of his foot from Larsson. And I thought Moravcik was in there. Jonathan Gould indicating he wants 2 players in the wall for this free kick, and it's a busy box. Whipped in, low and hard, flicked away, and another headed opportunity for Dugarry, and he's disappointed. He didn't really get too much on it, and it was straight at Jonathan Gould. This a chance, undoubtedly, for Dugarry.
Good to see that Martin O'Neill's calmed down. Now he's north of the border. Now, as if I need to remind you, Match of the Day is back on Saturday. And the featured games on Saturday are West Ham versus Newcastle and Chelsea against Spurs. BBC One, as it says, 10:30. Before that, of course, there's Football Focus on Grandstand. Join Ray Stubbs and Mark Lawrenson at about 12:20. Then on Sunday...
So, you want to know about football fever?
Anyone who's anyone comes on.
Oh, no.
It's all singing.
When I get that feeling, I love you.
I tell you what I want, what I really, really want. And it's all dancing. All sorts of people watch it.
That is a programme worth fighting for.
If it's good, I eat it.
Next week's gonna be a scorcher.
I'm Paolo Di Canio, I'm fireman.
Oh, yes. Do you, like me, believe Liverpool will win the UEFA Cup?
Well, I couldn't comment. Let's ask the magic ball.
Yes, it is definitely possible.
I love that ball.
It's true. The magic ball never lies, Gary.
Well, let's hope the magic ball has promised us some goals here today, because so far it's Liverpool 0, Slovan Liberec 0, and we've not really enjoyed it.
That is an understatement. It's just been poor. Liverpool, right from the word go, never passed, never moved, didn't get in behind, no great width, didn't make any great chances, and it has been a massive disappointment.
Probably the best chance, Mark, felt to Smitzer, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so, most definitely. And I think the other thing about it as well is that they started so slowly, Liverpool, and Alan touched on the point that, you know, this is Fowler. I mean, it's great play by Fowler, teasing, cajoling, little flicking over the top. And I think, to be honest with you, if Smitzer really wants to score there, he does score, you know. Centre forward, striker's instinct, whatever you call it, you throw yourself at those, you might even get hurt. Clout on the nose, you've just seen Eric Lawson have one, you know, you would score from that distance, most
Not
definitely.
strong enough.
No.
It's got to be stronger.
Now, Robbie Fowler's not scored, we heard Motti say, since December. He's not played too many games in that
Still
time.
an unbelievable start.
And he's had a few near misses today, tonight.
Berger cross, drags off, not a great deal of power on the header, a comfortable save. I think the movement's good, everything's right, but he can't get a great deal of pace in it. And he's had 3 or 4 headers that, you know, I don't think it's anything to do with sharpness or match fitness.
That was about the best ball of the first half.
That Babel, he's an excellent player.
Down the sides of him into Smitzer, and, well, really, Emil Heskey there needs to come through a lot of them and clatter them. And, you know, if anything, Robbie Fowler's backpedaling. But
he's really impressed me, Babel, the last 2 or 3 weeks at centre back's his best position. Lots of composure, good in the ball, decent ball in. Keeper all over the place. Unfortunately, they can't convert it.
It's the only way to take those 3 out the game, the back 3 for Liberec, is those kind of passes. Here with Murphy, and if anything, you fancy him to score, Robbie. He had a stumble at first, and then the ball kind of got caught in his midriff. You're thinking, aren't you? Maybe another 3 or 4 games he's going to score, but, you know, looking at that tonight, definitely not.
It doesn't sit right for him, does it?
Didn't sit right, no. There's a little stumble at first there, which kind of was off-putting, and then he's just thrown a right leg at it, and that's not the Robbie Fowler of old, as it were, before the injury.
You just feel if he gets one, he might get a hat-trick.
I think if Liverpool get one, they'll get a bucket full.
A good ball in, decent header, but not a great deal of pace in it again. He's up well enough.
But it's hard to turn that into a real chance, Alan, as well. I mean, it's such a loopy ball. There's no pace on the cross, is there?
And there's another one.
Yeah, this is Heskey, wasn't it?
Yeah. Excellent ball in. I think the defending wasn't bad there.
Better
Good
movement,
ball, yeah.
Better movement from Fowler across the front of defenders. That's him. You know, he's got to hit the target. But we're clutching at straws, aren't we?
Play to Heskey. Heskey can run riot. Just get him in the game. He's always a threat.
Yeah, he's the one player that looks like making something happen, and he nearly did that halfway through the first half.
Well, he scored the hat-trick against Derby, and he got one on Saturday. He could have had 3. This is brilliant. Great dummy. Goes and hits. So you can hit it left foot or right foot, and that's close. This is a great piece of play, this. See you later. Goes on. Little deflection, could have gone anywhere.
You know, once you start committing players, you know, the thing opens out, as we know. But it's just not happened 2 or 3 occasions, and it's that urgency that you want Heskey to do that. You know, if Heskey continues to do that, you give him the ball, people will react to it. At the moment, it's not happening.
So you go back, the way you start the match sets the tone. If you start casual and just pass it here and pass it back, and at times Liverpool at the back have got 4 against 1, that means they're missing it elsewhere. They haven't got the width, they haven't got the players getting wide, getting in behind, and it's very, very casual. If you start in that vein, then you'll go right through the match in that vein, and it's always a problem.
Now I've got the match programme in my hands here, and in it there's a little column, Alan Hansen, jockey it says, and it says here, Westerveld is the best shot stopper in the country, but he has a problem when the ball comes in from either flank with real pace. We've got an example of that here, haven't we?
And he has got problems. I mean, I think we highlighted the Saturday against Leicester. You know, it's a comfortable save, that, for me. No need to punch it.
This has been him, though, since the goals he conceded against Chelsea. He's obviously lacking serious concentration and confidence when the ball comes into those departments.
And we might just have spotted a weakness in their side, in the Czech side. Lexa.
Well,
Josef.
Have a look at the size of him.
He's been in the pie shop at lunchtime.
He's 18 stone. When Fowler dummies, this is a great dummy as well. And then he just a bit stumbled. And then Fowler here, this is, if you can isolate him, Fowler does him about 3 times here. Inside, yeah. Nowhere near him. Not in the same county as Fowler there. Goes to it, comes inside, outside. And, you know, and you get a chance. But you've got to go after them.
And I thought Gazza was coming here on Sunday. Sorry, Gazza, I didn't mean. Anyway, they're about to kick off. Trevor and John.
Neither side has made any substitution, and it looks as though we'll have to wait then, Trevor, for any new dimension.
Well, somebody perhaps like Nicky Barmby, Gary McAllister, could be the two.
Could be, yes. This is on show. Saw Steve Highway on the pitch at the beginning of the second half interval. He's the academy director now here at Liverpool, and reminded me of when he played on the left wing here in the early European success days, and how much width he gave Liverpool, and they could do with some of that tonight, I think. Anyway, Heskey's injured at the moment. This is Murphy, and now it's Smitsa with Carragher overlapping. It's Emil Heskey, I think, who's down. Gerard Houllier still taking his seat. And Dave Gallett, the physio, being asked to go on.
Yeah, it looks as if it was just his left ankle, whether it's his Achilles, we just turned in the loose surface, and that's what they're looking at now. It's his standing foot. As you can see, as he tries to ride the tackle, watch the left leg, and it just goes on the loose footing, whether he's turned his ankle or it could have been the Achilles, I would have thought.
Well, the Liverpool bench tonight, as we mentioned earlier, does include, well, I was going to say includes Nick Barmby, but the obvious replacement for Heskey would be Titi Camara, who hasn't played this season. He's been injured as well, but he is among the substitutes, having scored 10 goals last season, so we might see him.
He's an unpredictable talent. He's got a bit of flair, never quite sure what he's going to do, and certainly can drift out wide and take people on, so he would be an option that is worth considering. I think anything is worth considering after that first 45 minutes.
Well, the summing up at half-time, I think, from the boys in the studio was fairly conclusive, and the second half has started with a Liverpool injury, which doesn't make life any easier for Gerard Houllier.
Looks as if his it's more his knee, his ankle gave way, and it just seems to have dislodged that, whether he's got a little tweak or twist, but you can never tell when they climb on the stretcher these days whether it's significant or not.
Well, no, because we have this ridiculous scenario where they jump off and come back on, but in fairness to Heskey, I think that did take a bit of time, that treatment from Dave Galley, so it may well be that he needs further attention. Liverpool are down to 10 men currently. They have a throw-in on this side of the pitch. Smitsa. Now it's on show. Smitsa again. Just needs the build-up to be much quicker. Berger. Carragher. Heskey's now back on his feet on the far side, and the referee is signalling to him that he can come back on. Although whether he wants to immediately is another matter. He's just jogging up and down. Here's Babel. Heskey's on now. Fowler. This is Murphy. Little ricochet helps Liverpool here. It's Smits there. And it's Dietmar Hamann with Berger to his left. He pushed him a bit wide there, really.
Well, it was over to you, wasn't it? No one wanted to take the initiative, have a shot themselves. Berger pushed wide, a bit at full stretch, come off the outside of the foot. Actually, there was a display at half-time with the youngsters from the academy. And Steve Highway, who's in charge here up at Anfield, Adam running with the ball and twisting and turning, and perhaps one of them might be warming up to come on, because that's what the game needs, somebody to run and commit people. Again, it's all a little bit too predictable, this opening.
Yes, it's passing for passing's sake at times here, isn't it, really? It's not going anywhere. In fact, passes made by Liverpool 290, passes made by Slovan Liberec 85.
I think we need a category incisive passes, and that would be a lot less.
And Lazaro's made one here to Čapek.
Again, when they've got so many people in midfield, it's not going to be easy for them. The get-goal side, it should have shown a bit of composure. He's never going to score from that range. Hold it up and then try and look to knock it back across goal, but he panicked a bit.
Number 14, Johanna there, doing a very steady job until he was brought down. Yellow card shown here. Danny Murphy with the trip. And in Europe this season, you have to accumulate 3 yellow cards before you get suspended because of the extra round in the competition these days. That's his first. 2 other Liverpool players are on 1 yellow, Onsho and Harmon from the previous round. Here's Kozuk. Well, it's a worry where the goal's going to come from. Forward by Babel. This is Fowler. And now it's Ziege, with Berger making a forward run. But again, the early ball never came. And Liberec can break away here to the right-hand side with Mikajlik. Oh, and he had help too. That's not a bad cross, and Harmon has to clear for Liverpool. Well, you can almost hear the crowd asking Liverpool to just get this together. Janu, Kozuk. This is going to run Danny Murphy's way. Fowler. Comes off Johanna for a corner.
Well, they've got the crowd animated a little bit, but again, Danny Murphy and Robbie Fowler both had opportunities, 1 against 1. Decided just to pass the ball, and again Robbie Fowler could have gone at his marker, clips it in. There weren't many options, only Emil Heskey. Had to be a terrific ball to pick him out.
Babel has gone into the 6-yard box. Onsho is up as well. It's Smits there to take the corner for Liverpool. Heskey comes forward. There's Harmon! Penalty! Penalty to get Liverpool off the hook here. Looked a bit harsh to me first sight. Harmon's the player allegedly fouled.
I'm embarrassed sitting up here. I can't believe that's been given. Is there a shirt tug there? I mean, that's nonsense, I think.
He's given it for a push by Steiner, the 8th, Trevor. This is a very harsh decision on Liberec. You get that in the penalty area every day of the week. And, well, goodness me. Anyway, Robbie Fowler to try and get his goals going this season from the penalty spot at the Kop end. Bit of a delay. Well, well, well. And I have to say, wearing a neutral hat, that justice was done there. It was a terrible penalty.
Well, I wanted it to go in just to break the jinx that we haven't even described the goal, but it was a terrible penalty. Just sums poor old Robbie Fowler's evening up so far, but the actual decision to give the penalty, I mean, Harman actually chested it down. It was bad control. He wasn't going to get anywhere near it. It was the slightest of nudges, if anything, and how it was given, I'll never know.
Well, Gerard Houllier must be wondering what's going to happen next. I suppose if Michael Owen had been playing, he might have taken that penalty. I'm not sure. This is Harman. Carragher. Heskey. Harman again. Berger to his left. Oh, Heskey might have got on the end of that if it had gone past Johanna. They're appealing for offside, actually, but the flag stayed down. This is Berger. Harman. Oh, that could have bounced awkwardly.
That's a bit better. They're pushing it up a little bit further. Harman, in particular, has been very deep in the first 45 minutes. At least he's getting in shooting range because he's got such a great shot. Why not?
Lazaro. To Steiner. And the Czechs, perhaps encouraged by the let-off at the other end. Shouldn't have had to be a let-off, of course. It was a ludicrous decision, in my opinion, that. But the penalty was missed, and Liberec now have a corner. Going to be taken by Janu. Lazaro and Steiner standing near the penalty spot. The two defenders are up as well. Johanna comes in. Off it came off Ziga. And Mikhailek tries the shot. And it's headed on by Fowler. This is Berger. Oh. Lazaro had intercepted that as he should have done. He might have been away. Instead, it's Carragher who's forward for Liverpool. This is Čapek. Bundled over, free kick.
I must say, I'd have said 15 minutes into the second half before a change. Of course, if they'd have scored that penalty, changes might not have come, but I think McAllister, Barnby and Camara, certainly at least 2 from 3, because the side needs shaking up.
Yes, he's going to have to do something about this, Gerard Houllier. It's not getting any better at the moment. Fowler. On show. To Murphy. Babel. This is on show again. Ziga's out on the left-hand side. Berger. Back into Harman. Murphy to Heskey. Few rebounds here. Murphy, Heskey. Smitsa. Carragher with the cross. And that's really poor from Ziga.
It took an eternity to eventually get it out wide on the right to Smitsa, just to give him a bit of width. They had 2 attempts to thread it through the eye of a needle in the centre. That didn't succeed, and again, here they go, gradually with this typical build-up, but it's gone back out initially where it started from, and that total, what was it, 285 passes, again, they're not getting anywhere with it.
And then Emil Heskey lost the ball. This is Babel. Smeetser. Murphy. Berger. Still the defence in front of him. Closing.
Where was the width? Berger on the edge of the 18-yard box. There was no one wide on the left. Ziege, who has surprised me because I thought he did well when he came on as substitute for about 20-25 minutes in the last game, has hardly crossed the halfway line, and yet is such a good attacking fullback.
Well, there's certainly no width on this side at the moment, and the ball is with Murphy. But they're making the defending easy for the Czechs. Kozuk. This is Harman. Babel. This is Heskey. Foul the far post. Murphy's there too. An hour gone and still no sign of the breakthrough.
But that was so easy when they knocked the ball along the floor, down the channel. Emil Heskey just dropped his shoulder and he got well clear of his marker. They are not good markers, and in the end, unfortunately, he couldn't get his cross in. But if you knock a decent ball forward, you can wrong foot these defenders very comfortably.
Well, here's Murphy doing just that for Liverpool. Goalkeeper saves. Smeetser surely. Goalkeeper again.
Well, Danny Murphy made the shooting angle, hit the shot well, and Smeetser, all he had to do was square it across the face of the goal to Robbie Fowler. Should no way have tried to shoot from that tight angle.
That's Berger, and oh, it's just clipped the bar. Marcus Babel coming in to get the header ahead of Ziege. Berger's cross. Babel just where the post and crossbar join.
Yes, hit the angle. Goalkeeper would have had no chance. Another couple of feet further out, it would have dropped in. Equally good opportunity just before that, though, when Danny Murphy's shot, wrong-footed at his marker, easily hit the shot, came off the keeper, and Smeetser should have just squared it across the face of the goal. And Robbie Fowler should have had an easy side foot in.
This was the earlier opportunity, Trevor.
Yeah, as you see, Danny Murphy hits it with his right foot. It comes back out. Smeetser looks square across. Robbie Fowler would have had an open goal.
Smeetser again. Fowler's up there looking for Heskey. I must say, I think the number 14, Johanna, has had an outstanding game. I know we've been a little unkind to one or two of their defenders, but he's held the whole thing together there.
I think he would make one or two pub teams, him, to be fair.
This is Berger. Oh. Fowler. Berger's made a forward run again. The ball wasn't laid really into his path by Fowler. Pilney can clear. Neumann. Oh, this is Fowler now. And that's no good either. Well, this is the penalty incident, Trevor. I mean, you would think yourself really hard done by if you were Steiner there.
The referee's only 3 or 4 yards away from it, and of course, then you think, well, this is so unlucky for them, and then Robbie Fowler, of all people, tries to blast it. Whether he'd been a bit more confident, would he have picked his spot? I don't know. He just went for power. It's not been a good night for him, and he didn't get it on target.
I've very rarely seen a softer penalty award than that in a European game. I don't know what the Swiss referee was doing there, but however, it didn't matter.
Perhaps he's had a couple of nil-nils as well and wanted the game livened up.
Well, you've really put the mockers on this. I'm mentioning the previous round here in the Finland-England game. This is Babel. On show. Murphy. Heskey. In by Babel. Fowler pulling away far side. Again, it's Lexar that's challenging him. Now Mikalik. Oh, and they've got to get hold of centre forward here. He's clean through, and my goodness me, Babel's challenge on Lazaro had to be correct in that position because the Argentine was through.
Well, that was their best move of the game. It was excellent play. Each of the passes were ideal and perfectly slotted in. His first touch, Lazaro, was excellent, but certainly, as you say, Babel had to make sure his tackle was perfectly timed. It was. He got to the ball. The referee was close, and that was excellent play. Look, the first touch, setting himself up for the shot. Babel, all right, with his wrong foot, got to the ball, and although the Argentinian was looking for the penalty, no way was that either.
Here's Dietmar Hamann to Heskey. And now Ziege. Goodness me. They've got a break on here again, the Czechs. It's Steiner with Lazaro in the middle. It's got Čapek backing him up. That was Lazaro's touch. Couldn't quite find Čapek. The sooner Liverpool get a substitute on, I would think the better now. Gary McAllister's getting ready. This is Berger. Goalkeeper's coming for this. Uh-oh, yellow card for Marcus Babel for the tackle. So he joins Murphy in the referee's book.
Can't have any complaints about that. That was right from behind, through the back of the legs. A yellow card at the least.
Well, there's going to be some changes here in a minute on both sides. Certainly Gary McAllister hoping to bring some much-needed craft to the Liverpool midfield. And the Czechs are going to bring on their number 10, Roman Jun, who is a left-footed player, normally in midfield. But they're still a bit worried about who to take off, I think, because Lazaro is getting treatment off the pitch and doesn't look to be in the best of shape. So they're down to 10 men at the moment. And the man coming in on the far side was Johanna.
Well, they've had one or two little breakaways which threatened just a glimmer of a goal. I think they've looked more dangerous going forward in this second half than the first. Ziege, again, has been a big disappointment in the left back. He looks very lethargic, both not wanting to go forward and in defensive situations too.
This is Murphy. Lazaro has gone back onto the pitch now, and neither of the substitutes has yet come on. Here's Berger. Good block by Neumann. Well, they're very flat up there at the moment. On show. Ziege. Well, if you join this match late, well, you might be quite fortunate in some ways. It's, as you can see, a game which is continuing to frustrate Liverpool, as the match here did in the last round against the Romanians. Here comes Heskey. Well, he's going to be penalised there for pushing. But we're halfway through the second half, and we are going to see two changes by Liverpool. Gary McAllister and Nick Barmby are coming on together. Danny Murphy will come off.
Double substitution for Liverpool. Coming off number 13, Danny Murphy, replaced by number 21, Gary McAllister.
And Smeet says the other man who's going to be replaced.
Second substitution, Vladimir Smiter coming off, and on comes number 20, Nick Barmby.
How do you read that, Trevor?
Well, the straight swaps are, quite frankly, any of the outfield players could have been taken off. Smiter, for me, was giving them perhaps as good a width as anyone, that Barmby will play on this right-hand side. The other player that usually disappoints me, but perhaps Gary McAllister will be released to go forward, is Harman, because he looked outstanding for Germany. I know England gave him quite a lot of space at Wembley, but he's got an excellent shot. But look, he picks it up so deep. He might as well be playing as a back four player in that position.
Nick Barmby straight away in the action. Scored Liverpool's goal in the last round in Romania, Nick Barmby. He's only won so far since he signed from Everton. This is Kozu. Got caught there by Carragher. So 20 minutes to go at Anfield in this first leg of the UEFA Cup second round. The second match to be played in the Czech Republic in 2 weeks' time. McAllister goes down the left for Liverpool, desperately now in need of goals, or even a goal.
That is the first time any of the central midfield players has run beyond the strikers. That's what one plus.
Ziga's cross, Fowler's in there. Heskey. This is Carragher. Barmby. Harman. Berger. Changes the direction of the play. Fowler. Now Ziga. Good defending by the captain, Pilney.
Well, Christian Ziga might as well just play as a left winger in that wide position, offer himself up as a passing option, because he's an excellent crosser, and he should be getting in that position more and more.
McAllister's found Harman, and that's the German shot. But McAllister has brought already a little bit of know-how to the midfield.
Well, when he gets the ball, he's always sideways on, could switch, aware of other people joining him, and hopefully we'll try and bring Harman into those shooting positions, because he's got such power, and if he's not going to get in those positions here at Anfield, he definitely won't away from home.
Substitution for Liberec. Off comes Steiner, and he's going to be replaced by Jun. And they can see a 0-0 draw in their sights here now in the first leg, Liberec.
Well, it's a scoreline I'm sure they'd have only been too delighted to have taken at the kickoff. We've got to remember Liverpool did get through drawing 0-0 here, although of course it was their second leg result, having won 1-0 away in Romania before. But I can't believe Liverpool will actually play away and on the counter-attack not be able to score against this side. But of course, you know, I'm sure also the visitors will be thinking to themselves that they could score, but I still think Liverpool will come through this tie, even if it stays 0-0.
Well, we'll see. This is Harman to Ziga. Headed out again by Pilney. And now he's marking Heskey. One of the Czech journalists who I was talking to last night said with a completely straight face he thought they would get beaten 7-0 here. Such was his opinion of the gap between what Liverpool ought to be and what he thinks the Czechs are.
Well, one of the nils was right, anyway.
This is Babel. Barmby. Heskey. Fowler coming in from the far side. Oh, and Harman caught Mikhailic there with a very late challenge. Number 3 has gone down injured. And the referee is allowing play to go on, and Harman sportingly kicks the ball out, and he should really, because it was his foul.
Mikalik there with just holding his side, just got caught late. I'm sure one or two of them are going to go down, wasting that little bit of time. It was a high challenge, just caught him on his right leg there.
You know what has changed from the days when I was talking about Liverpool early in Europe, Trevor? It was a frightening place to come then, wasn't it, for overseas teams? They were almost a goal down before they started with the crowd and the atmosphere. Now they come here and they positively rise to the occasion.
Well, it's just been a basic tactic of getting goal side, and Liverpool have not had the flair and skill to break them down up to now. Don't want to stick the chest of the likes of Alan and Mark out, but the side they used to play in would be about 5 or 6 up, because this is a fairly straightforward visiting team here who've just worked hard and managed to nullify a very predictable attack.
Here's Heskey. Forward by Harman to Berger. It's opened up for Patrick Berger. Deflection and away by Čapek. Harman. 3 waiting in the centre for Liverpool here. Berger. Desperately poor cross with his right foot. Enables Lazaro to break away for Liberec. Well, they've collided with the assistant referee.
Well, we might as well get the entertainment one way around it. There they go into, and look at the poor old assistant referee there. Didn't even get a free kick for that.
The Czech player has come off worse, actually, from that 3-way collision. It's Lazaro. I think he may have a spot of cramp there, their number 9. Play's gone on without him. This is Fowler. And Liberec are down to 10 men at the moment. Heskey up against Johanna, who's played really well. The 2 centre-backs, well, I say centre-backs, 2 of the back 3, must have pleased the coach there, Skopil, because his team now are looking like keeping this tie alive for the second leg, which on paper didn't seem likely. Lazaro is up again on the far side, but not really in the play yet. McAllister. Heskey. Barmby. Back heel looking for McAllister. Barmby gets it again. I think we ought to give Liberec some credit, though, Trevor, just to balance up this opinion that Liverpool are awful.
Well, you've got some Czech fans, have you, listening to you, and that they think they're going to be upset. But they've worked hard. I'm sure they cannot believe how easy this has been. When I say easy, how few clear-cut openings or how much that Liverpool have failed to stretch them. And to their credit, fine they are here 0-0. I still think they're beginning to get pegged back. Liverpool, with the likes of Barmby and McAllister, should still be able to create 1 or 2 chances in these last 10 minutes or so when the opposition do begin to tire. But it's been an evening that I don't think even they could have anticipated up to now.
Well, their 100 or so supporters looked happy enough, didn't they, in that shot? This is Robbie Fowler on the far side. Could be making quite a happy journey back to northern Bohemia. Berger. Deflection on the shot, goalkeeper gathered it well.
Berger's left foot is pretty potent from this range. With so many bodies back there, they're always likely to get a deflection. Up to now, most of the deflections, a couple have gone outside the goal and 2 or 3 have actually headed back straight towards the goalkeeper.
Berger's pass, Heskey going through.
But you see, Berger got it in the centre circle there, and there's no one out wide on the left, so he had to try and thread it again right through the middle.
Here comes Lavaro, being marked by Babel. This time it's Liverpool's free kick. And this is Harman. I think Lavaro now really has got to come off, he's struggling. This is Barmby. Did that well, he's got support in the centre here. Fowler is up, so is Ziege. That's Carragher's cross, it doesn't carry as far as Fowler. It's going to be another substitution, and Jan Nejmar, who scored in both legs against Norrköping in the last round and is a handy player to have around, is coming on in place of the, I would assume, in place of the Argentine, Lazaro. I think they feel he's done enough up there. Nesmar, who's coming on, is a self-confessed Liverpool supporter, having followed the careers of Smeetscher and Berger. So he gets his wish to play at Anfield. And he has just over 10 minutes on the field here. Gary McAllister. Heskey. Back it goes again, and again. Now Harman. Babel. Carragher. Heskey.
Again, that sort of cross from sort of beyond the corner of the 18-yard box is coming at an angle, it's hanging in there. It's almost impossible for a forward to get the power and direction to trouble the goalkeeper. Emil Heskey's not going to feed off that sort of ball.
In the last round of the UEFA Cup, Liberec got a draw in Sweden against Norrköping 2-2 and then won the home leg 2-1. So if it stays 0-0 here tonight, Liverpool will be probably feeling uneasy about the second leg.
A big game at the weekend as well, they'll be feeling uneasy.
Everton on Sunday.
Not the best of preparations for that. I think the atmosphere will be slightly different then.
Certainly will. Here's McAllister. Mikalik. Kojuk making a forward run here, number 7. And he tried to take it first time.
That's a terrific pass, right into his stride. One of the better passes of the night, I've got to say. If he'd hit it more cleanly, it might have troubled Westerveld. Probably too much of an angle, though.
Well, back in the early days, Liverpool were renowned for late goals. Can they produce one tonight? This is Heskey. Barmby. Carragher. Oncho. Stefan Oncho. Well, he's never scored for Liverpool and didn't really look like doing so there.
But even Oncho's not renowned for his dribbling skills, was able to venture forward. He went past the play. Look, he's given himself a clear shooting opportunity. There's no width out on the right. Nicky Barmby's come into the middle, so he's had to hit his shot. He's scuffed it, and it's bobbled through everyone.
Now the Czechs are making one or two technical changes here. They're going to bring on number 6, Milan Bakeš, who is a Croatian by birth.
Third substitution for Slovan.
And he's going to replace number 7, Vladimir Kozuc. Bakeš, just 22, defensive player. About 7 minutes to go. Anfield very, very quiet. Babel. Barmby. No wit or invention about Liverpool tonight. Heskey to Carragher. Harman. Ziege goes inside from the flank now, so he's got to come this way. Oh, and Babel's header there, nearly falling straight to Nesmar. Here's Babel again. Heskey shakes his man off. Fowler! Still can't get it right.
Well, that's the pass they should be looking for all the time. The one in the channel, Emil Heskey could just ride his marker around, and Robbie Fowler again just trying to get across his marker. On that occasion, I think, let's give a bit of credit, decent defending, but that's what he's able to do all the time if he gets the ball knocked up to his feet.
They've really grouped well round the ball. Liberec in defence. Liverpool, as you've said, have played very much into their hands. And we're now approaching the last 5 minutes of the 90 in this first leg. And there's nothing to show for it. This is McAllister. Heskey. Fowler goes left, free kick. Johanna on Heskey. Yellow card, Johanna. Oh dear, that's well, it's his second of the tournament. He won't be suspended just yet. And it's a free kick 25 yards out. As the referee notes the name of the number 14 who gave it away. What is this here? A left-footer's opportunity. Patrick Berger maybe, Trevor?
Yes, I think he's fancying it's time for him to try and catch one with his left foot. Harmon's close by, but he's going to favour the left footer more. What's he got to be at least 30 yards out, though?
Two Liverpool players in front of the Czech wall. And that is Berger, and it is a Liverpool player, I think. This is Carragher. Heskey's in there, so too here is McAllister. Bakesh challenging him, Liverpool throw. Ziege to take it. Babel is up in the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper starts to come, doesn't need to. Corner now. Ziege and McAllister are both over there, and Babel is trying to find some space in the 6-yard box. So too now is Ziege as he comes across. Heskey's up there with the goalkeeper. This is Nicky Barnley with a shot off the defender. Oh, goalkeeper hesitating. Emil Heskey. With 3 minutes to go. Oh, goalkeeper has had a good night, but he hesitated there. Heskey got it.
That was a good corner, Gary McAllister. Goalkeeper came for the punch. He didn't get the distance, did he? Only ended up at the edge of the 18-yard box. Nicky Barnby hit it across goal. He got a deflection and spun up, and Emil Heskey, to his credit, reacted before the goalkeeper could then find his position. And a volley, well, at long last we have a goal.
Heskey, who scored the winner here against Leicester on Saturday, his old club, now ends Liverpool's embarrassment in this European match. This is Yun for Liberec. Chapek. 2 minutes to go here at Anfield, plus stoppage time. Can Liverpool get a second to put a much more respectable slant on the evening? Certainly woken the crowd up. But it's Mikalik who's coming forward here for Liberec. And that's a corner. Well, it was from a corner that Liverpool got their goal. Barnby initially, and then Heskey finishing it off. And now the Czechs have a corner, and they've sent Tilney and Johanna forward in an attempt to equalise. We're in the last minute. It's Patrick Berger. Fowler's made the run. 2 further over to his left. Berger again. And again it's a corner to Liverpool.
Well, get the one goal and then they're beginning to panic and they're getting stretched. Be a bit cruel, I think, if Liverpool got the second.
Well, on shows forward. Heskey's coming near post. Babbles up. Comes out to Harman. Oh, and the shot was by Harman in the end.
Well, he's hit it superbly. For some unknown reason, Hautzer was over that side of the goal, because I think if he'd have been in the middle of the goal, look, where he hits the shot, he's actually on that right-hand side, otherwise he'd have been beaten.
The fourth official has indicated it will be 4 minutes of added time.
Where do they get it from? 4 minutes of overtime.
Leeds United fans are asking the same question Tuesday night.
Here's Heskey. Back in again by Carragher. Now it's Ziege. To Barmby. Another Liverpool corner.
Gary McAllister sprinting out there to take it. Going to curl it in with his right foot. Can the keeper deal or catch it or punch it a bit clearer this time?
Yes, McAllister's given it the signal. Harman's coming in here. Goalkeeper did well this time.
A message for Terry McShane of Bedford Road South to contact his nearest steward, please. Terry McShane, Bedford Road South, contact your nearest steward.
This is Harman again for Liverpool. That's a goal kick.
So, long last, they got the goal. Gerard Houllier desperately wanted. I still think they would have got through even if it had been goalless. I'm sure they'd have scored away, but now 1-0 is an excellent scoreline when you look at European ties, but it's been a poor Liverpool performance and shouldn't disguise that. It's certainly going to have to improve a lot if they're going to progress in this competition.
Here's Nesmar for Liberec. They've got 4 players forward in attack here. There's danger. Oh. Shot came in from Neumann. Two minutes of overtime still to be played. It's Barmby to Harman, and now Berger. Robbie Fowler. 3 defenders round him. This is Ziege.
Terrific cross there, Ziege coming in on his right foot. Watch Barmby's run, gets inside the fullback and tries to get him on the rugby tackle. Just cleared the head of Barmby.
Here comes Yun. There's a minute of the overtime to be played still. Well, it may well be enough, we shall see in 2 weeks' time, but certainly the performance not to the level that Liverpool would have hoped for. This is Heskey, cleared by Lexar, not very well it might be said. This is Harman. Johanna. Again, looking for Berger now. Well, the referee's been as generous as he could possibly be to Liverpool. He's given them a penalty they should never have had. He's given them 4 minutes overtime, which baffles me. And that's now been played on my watch. They have a corner. Everybody's up here. To be taken by McAllister. Onsho comes in. That looked like a handball to me by the Swiss. Anyway, it won't matter. The game's over. Gerard Houllier's team take a 1-goal lead to the Czech Republic in 2 weeks' time. The scorer, Emil Heskey,
the winning time in tonight's
who
golden goal competition.
Finally put an end to what had been a really difficult evening for Liverpool. Robbie Fowler and company unable really to open up the Czech defence in a match which, that tells you something. A missed penalty in the middle of all that. PM not meaning the time, by the way, but 54 minutes when the penalty was missed. Heskey got the goal on 87, and it's that lead, that slender lead, that Liverpool take to the town of Liberec in 2 weeks' time. But one has to be honest and say, despite Heskey's goal, it wasn't a sparkling performance. Gary Lineker.
No, I think you can say that again, John. But they've got the result. It wasn't great though.
They didn't play well. No. There used to be a saying here, in the armchairs and get the cigars out. That only applies when you're 4-0 up and absolutely cruising. There was too many in the armchairs at 0-0. No urgency, no compression of the play, no leader, and they just didn't play well.
What would worry me more, Gary, would be the lack of width. I mean, Schmeitzer and Berger start off as the outside midfield players. They both want to play inside. You know, all right, if they come and play inside, at least then Carragher, the right back, and Ziege, the left back, have got to get forward and just give them the width. I mean, teams will watch that and analyse Liverpool and say, look, you just send them inside to where your strengths are, and they don't create anything. And it was certainly the case tonight.
The goal came right near the end, and as predicted, it was Heskey that got it.
Yeah, well, Heskey's on fire at the minute. I thought he was all right tonight. He's been excellent the last couple of matches. The goal kicker comes, flaps. Barnby does well, hits it in, but he's quick to react here, Heskey, and he fires into the top corner.
I think there was also once a goalkeeper flaps it, at least Barnby comes and attacks the ball and you know, gets it back into the danger area, and then Heskey reacted before anybody else, and I mean, we could hear the relief, just the fact that Liverpool had scored, but you really felt it wasn't going to come.
OK, well, we've been a bit critical about Liverpool's performance here. Let's see what their manager, Gerard Houllier, has got to say. He's with Ray Stubbs.
Gerard, thank heavens for Emil Heskey, but what was missing from Liverpool's performance this evening?
Just a finish. I thought it was a bit of a remake as we played against Leicester. We created many chances. We even had a penalty, but we missed practically everything. And thanks God, Emid finally managed to put the ball at the back of the net. Exactly against Leicester, he did the same. You know, at the moment the boys, they find it's a bit frustrating because they have many chances, but they don't score as many goals as they should do.
Do you share the frustration Liverpool fans that say teams like this should be brushed aside?
I think brushed aside is too much, too far, because you have to respect the opposition. And they made it difficult for us because they played at the back and they were well organised, well disciplined, denied to us practically any space and any freedom on the ball, any time on the ball. So we had to find a solution ourselves, and I'm glad Emil found it.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, a win for Liverpool and a good result too for Celtic. They've drawn 1-1 in Bordeaux in the same competition tonight. Henrik Larsson scoring a penalty in the first half. But, you know, the big teams come into the competition now. The teams that have failed in the Champions League should inspire them if Liverpool can get through this.
Always better against the big teams, Gary. You should know that, for God's sake. No, they'll have to play better, as simple as that. Yeah. I mean, if there's any sort of performance like that against some big guns, they'll be right in trouble.
Liberec made it difficult for Liverpool, but Liverpool did not help themselves at all tonight.
OK, gents, thanks very much. Well, it was a long time coming, but it was worth the wait, I think. Good night.
Welcome to the Olympic Stadium in Munich, where the lesser known of the two German football clubs in this town, 1860 Munich.